All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the night here on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Central. This is BMRL Network. We are here at the Charlotte Roval with the Freedom Racing Series as they approach race number 2 in the round of 8. On track, we've got Reese Schaefer in the number 17. Reese right now sits 4 points out of the cut line. And this is going to be a qualifying round of 10 minutes with everybody on track. So let's watch it as everything unfolds. Jordan Dross already having issues out on turn 1. Or well, it was turn 2 I think he's went out. Or turn 3. All right, and that's going to be a wrap for qualifying as Joseph snags that pole. Go ahead, and these guys are going to get set to start the grid here any second. Crowd cheering. Well, there's something wrong with the session. Stand by for a moment, I guess. Alright, looks like it finally, there we go. Alright, Joseph on the pole with Aaron Smith on his outside. In row 2, we got Reese Schaefer and Jeff Wright. Row 3, Jordan Trozen, Oscar Jensen. Row 4, Derek Garrison and Caleb Shelton. In row 5, Joseph Sullivan and Bryce Shoemaker. In row 6, Eric Garrison and Logan Threckold. Looking back to the final row, Nick Wood and Jim Foskett on row 7.
Green flag, green flag.
All right, green flag is out. Joseph taking him into turn number 1 here. And everyone get through these first few turns of the race. Got some great camera angles. I'll be playing those all night for you guys at home. I'm gonna catch every bit of action on this track. And everybody gets through the interior part of this road course as they are headed down into the backstretch now for that first little chicane here. Or a bus stop. Ooh. But the 9 of Jordan up into the wall, and he spins out onto the apron. Gonna get going back straight, merge back in with the field. Of Jeff Wright is on the move. Reese Schaefer down a spot. Jeff Wright's the one that took it from him. And also a little bit of race details here. Stage cautions at lap 7 and 20 of this 50-lap race tonight. These guys have 2 sets of tires over the wall with 1 fast repair. It's going to be stage one. As Aaron Smith in the lead coming around turns number 1 and 2. Into the chicane here, bus stop. Out of it, on to turn 3. When he comes across that line, it's going to be yellow flags in the air. And Aaron Smith gonna catch stage number 1 here as long as he exits this corner. Good, he does. And there's stage 1 for Aaron Smith. Other commentating's here, it's just, if any, like, road courses are kind of hard to commentate non-stop, as there's not a lot of stuff going on. Unless you just want to hear me talk about there in a corner. Alright. Rest of the field's gonna catch up. 9 of Jordan Truss leading. Little pack here as he comes around the corner. Bryce Shoemaker back there in 12th. Taking that turn, that final turn on the inside of the track to come out onto the actual Charlotte Oval part of the track here. Guys heading to turn 3 of the actual oval itself, not turn 3 of the road course. And I'm sure everyone, I don't know. I don't, we might see people go down pit road here. I don't think we will, as it's only lap 7, yep, and that's sure enough. We are going to see only a few Oscar Jensen, Eric Garrison, Logan Thurkel, Nick Wood, and Jim Foskett. All 5 of those guys down pit road. Everyone else going to stay out, and that means we're going to have 2 more laps of pacing here, and we'll be back green flag racing momentarily. guys in the comments, calm down. There is commentary. We're under caution. Thank you. Jeez. Oh my goodness, and they're to the corner they go under yellow. Is that what you'd rather me do? He said, oh my bad. I can literally clearly see with this nice graphics that he mentioned that we're under caution. Alright, 2x2 they go down into turn 2, down the backstretch. Pace car leads them. You're fine. It's just the Roval. Roval doesn't produce much action. It can, though. Alright, man. You ready? Alrighty. Hear the crowd cheering in the background.
Ooh, crowd.
I know, I think that's so cool that they added that.
How are you, Chris?
Oh, do what?
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. This is my second broadcast in a row tonight.
Back up the steer, and it looks like you got Aaron Smith up there alongside. We know he's good at these road courses, man. Green flag, back in the air. We're back underway at the Roval, Chris.
And there we go. Oh, here we go. Joseph looking on the inside on turn 1 here. And he's going to have him cleared.
Clear. He got clear there. If he can hold it through this section, Chris, very technical part of the racetrack, he'll have the lead 2x2 behind him. Sullivan's stuck up there on the outside. They'll roll through, and Chris, right now, so far, so good.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how the initial green flag goes for the interior part of this track.
Oh,
Yes.
contact. New contact. Hello. We're beating and banging right there.
And here we go. We saw on lap 1 the 9 of Jordan had issues back here on this backstretch chicane. Let's see if everyone can get through it cleanly this time.
You got to grab a handful of brake, bounce down through there, get the car load up, get it turned, get back on the power. They do just that. Right now, Cosley opening up the gap here. Smith behind them about 0.4 of a second now, Chris, as we head back towards the front straightaway chicane.
Yeah, Reese Schaefer a little bit in the grass there, takes it nicely. And Joseph's still going to be the leader of this thing.
Joseph doing a well of a job holding on right now, Chris. And I'll tell you what, he's starting to open up a gap a little bit at a time. Piecemealing it together right now. I've ran here quite a bit. That's kind of what you got to do. You just got to hit your mark, piecemeal it, and move it forward.
Everyone keeping it clean out here. Nobody any sort of off track or anything. We just see that slight contact there on the first initial green flag lap.
Don't look now, but Smith closing the gap. He's got it within a couple of car lengths into the hard braking zone. Back straightaway chicane. He'll try to close the gap. Can't do it. We'll roll through the back straightaway chicane one more time.
And right here is probably the best spot for him to really, really close that gap. And he does close it, but then he loses it once he hits the actual track itself.
Yeah, it's one of the things. He goes in really hard on the brakes, right? But you can't get the power back down on exit, and can't get the launch to stay with him.
And right there, he does really close that gap in. We may have a battle for the lead here in momentarily.
I think there may be here, Chris. I think that battle's going to heat up here. And right here, round of 8 here tonight. So hard to get through a place like Charlotte intact in the round of 8 and make it work.
Yes. Look so close to that wall.
I mean, you're inches, dude. You're inches off that wall every time you go through there. You're all but bumping up against it, trying to keep that car as straight as humanly possible.
Ooh, we got trouble back. Jeff Wright spins.
And Wright's not so right there for a moment.
All right, now he's going in the right direction.
Forgot to see what you did there. Got it back going.
And we have ourselves a little 3-car breakaway here. Reese Schaefer at the tail end of this little pack.
Man, if I had to pick, Schaefer going to be a handful here at this Tyler racetrack. He's got it right down to Smith. But I think they're both getting held up by Causely just a little bit at this point. Those guys doing everything they can do to manipulate their way around. Oh, did you see the back end step out on Causely?
Yes. That downhill up over the little hill there. That downhill transition got a little slippy slidey for him there. Oh, and here we go.
Slippy slidey. He'll hang on to by 2. Very technical part of the racetrack right now. Take a look here back onto the oval. The one that Causely trying to break back ahead can't do it. That's going to open them up side by side toward the back straightaway chicane. Should give Reese Schaefer a bit of a run here. Can Schaefer get to the 2 in front of him? Man, cooler heads are going to have to prevail here and get back in the line. Ooh.
They touch.
They barely got in there.
I was wondering how that was going to go. Both of them too wide going into that chicane.
Too wide into the chicane, hard on the brakes here. Yet again, back to the front straightaway. It's so technical to get around here each and every time there, Chris.
Yeah, another thing to point out, these guys got to watch hitting that bump right here on this little chicane. A piece of that car might fall off. They might fail inspection.
Well, not only that, I've actually had it break the front suspension before, bouncing through those chicanes like that.
All right, here we go, back looking inside. He's got the preferred line going through these sets of corners. Can Aaron seal the deal here, coming back onto the oval?
Yeah, no, yes, no, maybe so. Not enough.
Nope, Aaron getting into that outside wall back onto the oval. Gonna drop him another spot here. Now let's see how fast Reese can deal with Joseph.
They'll figure it back out once again here. Starting to get separated back out for just a moment. Taking a look here. Take a look.
Yeah. So it looks like when he spun out, he made contact with something, and maybe it's having a little bit of an effect on that front left here.
Yeah, it's kind of what it's looking like to me.
Yeah, he's a little loose. Got some wheel damage more than likely.
Yeah.
Unless he had no. I don't see any other incidents for him.
No, that's no bueno for him. I know that.
Oh man, a 2-man booth makes it so much more better.
There you go.
2 races in a row of this being a single man, it's like Just kind of tired of talking from the first one.
Been there, trust me. Cosley continuing to hang on. Smith back there as well. 16 on the board this time by. Man is so desperate. Round of 8. So you're getting down to that time of year where you got to go, right? You got to get done what you can get done as fast as possible, right, Chris? Right? You cannot make a mistake when you get down to the round of 8.
No, you cannot. And looking at it, this is, or no, we have one more race after this, I believe, at Iowa to get that Final Four. So Aaron Smith already locked into the round of 4, and get this too, Aaron Smith, that 70 car right there on your screen, he is only in the playoffs because he won their All-Star race and became that 13th car to join the round of 12, and he's already locked into the round of 4.
Yeah. Now he's in the round of 4. Now you convert, right? It's like basketball, 2-point conversion, right? Just convert it over. Now, what do you do if you're him? You got the All-Star win. You got that deal done. Now you're here. Now you're in the 4. I mean, you can't ask for much better than a year than that, in my opinion.
No, and if you're him, I think I want to go out there and make sure I win these next 2 races. I don't want anyone else locking themselves into the round of 4. I want to see who gets into the round of 4 based on their finishing.
It's like this in my mind. You want to prove that it was not a fluke you getting here, right? You don't want people to think it was a fluke.
Right, and yeah, looking at it, every single round of 12, Aaron won a race, got himself into the round of 8. Round of 8, he won the race, got himself into the round of 4. It's just been a crazy ride for him ever since that All-Star race.
Almost like the All-Star race there, kind of, sort of, was an unleashing of sorts for him, right? It unleashed the beast within to get himself moving forward. And how good it must feel for him to come to a place like Charlotte and not have to worry, man. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, definitely, especially after walking into this season with only 1 win for the regular season.
Well, we're getting to that point of the race, Chris, where we're going to get into a rhythm, and you're just going to hit your marks. Top 3 relatively tight, but how do you manage it? If you make one mistake, your night could be in shambles.
Yeah, I think we've seen that for the 22, Jeff Wright. He's still struggling. Wheel damage, more than likely, on that car. Actually, it looks like he came into pit. It looks like that damage is fixed. So maybe Jeff Wright back on the right track here.
Yeah, there you go. Continuing to turn it around for Jeff Wright.
Bryce down pit road. Yellow should come out here in the next lap or so.
Yeah, for stage, I do believe.
Yep, for our second stage caution here, which should be our final caution, actually. But another thing about Jeff here, or Aaron Smith, Aaron Smith, his only win during the regular season came from Daytona road course, so I don't know.
It's hurt.
Could he take Charlotte road course and take 2 of the 3 of 8 races so far, or take 2 of the 3 round of 8 races so far? Gonna be interesting.
I mean, it is a good possibility. Taking a look, peeking our way through 20 of 50 complete right now tonight, and again, top 3 nose to tail, Chris. They're right there with one another.
Right, and you know, it looks like Aaron here is trying to get that second place position, but honestly, if it was me in that car and I am this good, I think I'm just going to hold on to third and hope that I start third, because starting third puts you on the inside. So that's like the dominant line going to turn one.
Yeah, and it's almost like a kind of like a dirt race all of a sudden now. You know, this next little section, basically another heat here. You can kind of just ride where you're at, get a good start there, don't tear the car up, and have a good stage here, and then a 30-lap run to the end, which should set us up pretty well for the end of this race.
Well, and actually, we did have some bidders. So, Logan Threckeld, Eric Garrison, Nick Wood, Jim Foskett, Jeff Wright, and Bryce Shoemaker all did pit. So they're all going to be able to stay on the track, while everyone else that's up in the top 8 is going to have to pit. So
yeah, 2 by 2. Be careful here. We know we're at the end of the stage. Don't make a mistake and get into one another. That would be the kind of the worst case scenario right here, Chris. If you do make a mistake
Yellow,
and
yellow,
damage
yellow.
the car, and there's the yellow.
yeah,
All right,
looks like
there we have it.
Joseph keying up over the radio saying, hey, we just took lap 20 or lap 21.
So there we have it, man. And just like that, we are done with the stage.
Yes, indeed. So now with these 3 leaders up here, are very used to the open, clean air, as well as the hard racing from each other. They're gonna have to start mid-pack.
Yeah.
Mid-pack, a dangerous place when you take a green flag and go heading into that interior part of the track here.
Yeah, that's going to be a dangerous spot to be, in my opinion.
Especially when you're out in front and you're used to open air. How are you going to deal with cars that are way slower than you being in front of you?
Well, that's the thing, right? How do you handle that?
It'll be very interesting. Need to fast forward these 3 laps of caution.
Right? Wouldn't that be nice if that was a feature?
Right. That's the one thing about road courses that I dislike the most. Even driving them. They take forever to get around when it's yellow.
That's what we have parties for, right?
Right.
All right, folks, here. And again, where'd you say we at next time out? Iowa?
Yes, Iowa. January 5th.
That's going to be a good one.
So off for 2 weeks. Also, for anyone that's watching that is not part of Freedom Racing Series, they are kicking back up their Friday midnight series. It's looking pretty awesome. The schedule is pretty much from January to, I think, November.
That might actually be a league I could race in, actually, for once. Maybe possible. We'll see.
Or no, July. Okay. Yeah, so in January there's 4 races. Each month has 4 races in it, obviously. And they end in July. July 11th is the final race. But it's not just super speedways this time. It's Friday Night Thunder. We start with Daytona, then Martinsville, then Dega, and then Charlotte for the month of January.
There we go.
February into March is Atlanta, Bristol, Daytona, and Irwindale.
Nice.
And March and April, we got Monza, Five Flags, Talladega, and Charlotte. Going from Five Flags to Talladega, man.
It's going to be wild.
April, May, we got Daytona, North Wilkesboro, Atlanta, and then Irwindale again. Then we jump to May and June, we got Dega, Richmond, Daytona, Bristol, and then June, July, Daytona, Atlanta, Talladega, and Martinsville for the championship race.
Overall, sounds like a pretty good deal, man.
Yep, and I believe they're having fun races up Monday and Tuesday, I think, or 2 tomorrow. Something like that.
Some sort of something like that, Chris. Something.
Yeah.
That works. Well, man, back on the go again. Everybody going to come to pit road for Fresh Tires Goodyear Eagles right here. We're almost halfway here, brother.
Yes, and looks like a couple of those guys that I mentioned pitting earlier did pit again, besides Jeff Wright, Bryce Shoemaker, and Joseph Sullivan. So these top three are only going to find themselves about second and third row, so not too bad.
Not too shabby at all. Not too shabby. Oh, let's see how.
Putting some tires on.
Putting some go-go juice in.
Oh, somebody. Oscar Jensen completely going the wrong way.
What did Oscar do this time?
Let's go back and watch this, what happened here.
Oscar, just because I'm here tonight does not mean you have to put on a show on pit road.
So Oscar coming off a pit road here. Let's go to the blimp, my favorite view. And he thinks he's at the oval, I guess.
I mean, it works. It does work, however, not well.
Yeah, he went to go pull off at the last second. Wait, oh, I gotta turn left right here. Too late.
And they're making another left-hand turn.
And tonight we get to make right hands.
Exactly.
Alright, well, pace car lights are still on. We're gonna have to go around one more time after we get through this part of it. And I'm gonna go get myself a water.
Alrighty.
My lips are dry. Got chapped lips.
Chapped lips. There it is. Chris has got chapped lips. Rip to Chris. Well, that's quite interesting. Let's see what we can do here. What a night of road course racing we've had, guys. It's been a well of a night. I've enjoyed coming back to see it. Nice to be here yet again. Glad I could come over and help Chris out for the evening. So, we shall see as we will ride around here. Let's see. I'm actually going to try to turn my mic down because my mic is way too sensitive. Yes, Discord. See. Does that help? Possibly. Now, right about there should work, right? All right. Okay. Let's do it this way, do it that way.
All right.
What about now? Okay. I think I got my mic turned down a little bit enough. Possibly. Maybe. There. That's better.
Yeah.
That's better. Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. It was way loud on stream for some weird reason.
I have my Discord volume like up to about 20
Jacked up.
decibels, I think.
But anywho,
Or what,
it's fun to
no,
be back.
Like -8 decibels.
All right. Well, Mike, or up back, Chris, we're about ready to go again here, man.
Yes, indeed. I like this camera shot. Get
Me,
you,
I do too.
down and personal though. Camera shot works great under caution. We might kick off lap 1 with this and see how it goes. I usually don't like doing these aerial ones because you can't really see the car good, but...
Well, all right. We're about to go back to green, bud, here in a minute. Allegedly. Possibly.
There we go. I love that one.
So does everybody love how I just invaded Chris's booth tonight?
Dude,
I
it's
just
made me come to life again because after the first one, it's like, ugh.
Uh-huh.
Because my first one usually has another guy, but he ended up racing the night and didn't join me in the booth. And I just got so used to like having co.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But then they pushed theirs back, and so I had to jump from one to the other instead of having one and then having a break and then coming to this one.
Uh-huh.
And so,
Not like some people in this chat can relate with that. I don't know what you're talking about. Allegedly, once again, allegedly.
but usually this one ain't bad when they're on ovals. Those things sound fierce.
They do really sound good. They actually really do sound good. So I guess we're ready, aren't we?
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go, Batman, back to the ring.
Green flag, green flag.
And they're off. Ooh, a little bit of contact.
A little bit,
43. Bryce may have made a little bit of contact with whoever was on the outside of him.
Ooh, a little bit of ooba dooba there on the restart. 26 to go now. Taking a look here. So what do you think? You think we're going to get spread back out during this run here and kind of get back to single file spread out and all that stuff?
I think so, but I tell you, Aaron Smith not having too much fun back here. He is stuck. Oh, the 43 goes around, I think. Oh, and he catches the one.
The one is grabbing me. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
You know, turn one used to be heartburn turn one. I think that just became a heartburn turn for a moment.
Go ahead and get an aerial view of this again.
So many things went so wrong right there.
The 43 gets a nice run right there, but then here comes Reese. Oh, and I think he taps the 43 initially, gets the 43 a little loose, but the one took a hard dive into that wall. I did not notice that.
You see, sir, that is what we call things going wrong at a rapid pace.
Yeah, I think the one's got some wheel damage here. Doesn't look to be anything on that front end, but he smacked that wall pretty hard nose first.
The one made a boo-boo.
And we had talked about that too. Those guys pitting before the stage that we're going to have to hit may cause some issues for these front runners being stuck behind them. They weren't used to that situation. They all three qualified 1, 2, and 3. And they were running 1, 2, and 3. They had no experience being back there.
And it caught up and it got them. I mean, that's all there is to it. It caught up to them.
Yep, and we got some new guys in town. Jeff Wright, who had issues at the start of this thing, is kind of walking away.
So Jeff Wright's wanting it all to go right this time, right?
Right indeed.
You definitely don't want it to go wrong.
Or left.
Right. 24 to go. That was a good one.
The 24 laps to go. These guys definitely going to have to make one more pit stop. Man, Joseph. Joseph is driving the wheels off of this thing. He is trying to catch that 22.
On the wild pedal across the rumble strip. Yeah, that's tricky getting across those rumble strips like that and not losing the back of the car.
Yes, the one having some connection issues just blinked out, and he is going to find himself buried deep back here.
Well, man, are you surprised at what we've seen so far tonight?
No, just big unfortunate circumstances for those top three guys. said, we just saw that one kind of playing out like that before that yellow was waved. And they're gonna have to deal with some traffic here. It looks like Reese is capitalizing off of it still. He's up to third here. Aaron's still trying to... Ooh, Aaron's got some heavy front right damage. Where did you get that from, buddy?
Where did you get that?
I think there was another incident. Where? Playing a little bit of hopscotch with that rear end.
That is not going to help matters.
And then Foskett also having an issue. Aaron got damage from somewhere. I guess
that is no bueno.
Wonder if Aaron got it from that first wreck.
It would have to be, right?
I think so. I didn't notice.
I mean, what do we know? We're just broadcasters, but, you know, we didn't see it.
He seems to be doing okay, though, picking off. That's the second guy that he's picked off to make his way back to the front.
Slowly but surely, right?
Yeah, and now he sets his sights on Reese. He's in that second place right now. But it looks like Jeff has about a 7.5 second lead over Reese. This one may be donezo for everyone else.
You just got to keep the car clean. Don't make any mistakes. Don't make a boo-boo. You know, simple stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
Or what we think is simple, anyway. But you never know, it can still go wrong. Right? You think everything's fine, and then it goes not so fine anymore. That gap, Chris, that gap's absolutely insane, and he's opened up.
Yeah, it's down to... Oh, did Jeff have a moment? Oh, he did.
Break up. He did.
Something's going on with that 22 car.
Oh, he's heard it somehow, and he's gonna pull over, and we'll see if we can get a replay. But he made a boo-boo, and how do you make? Oh my goodness! What in the world?
Oh!
And it broke the suspension, Chris.
Yep.
It broke the suspension.
Go back and look at that again here.
How did that? Oh, the turtle. Ooh.
Yikes. Watch that in car here.
That has to be a mental error, man. Did he get the curb before it, too? Let's back that up a little bit further if we can. No, he's just a bad entry. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect through there. He just got a really bad... He got free there in it. Wow. And look at the wheel. Look at the wheel, Chris. Look at the wheel.
That thing broke.
It is donezo.
Oof.
Well,
this race has been very interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I do not think I've... Yeah, I honestly don't think in my career I've seen that happen here. Ever.
I didn't know you could break the suspension like something like that.
Now, the more you know, right? Now we know.
Yeah, I thought wheel damage and stuff only came from contact with a wall or car.
Man, in my mind, I don't know if I like that or not. That's a little harsh in my mind. I mean, he never even touched a wall, man. He just, wow. And what the sad part is, his night's over, right? Like,
Right.
I'm kind of in shock. Wow. One little mental error is all it takes now. And that's the thing. The more this sim advances, and they keep doing this with the sim, the more we get into the scenario to where one mental error is going to affect.
Right, and I was going to say they had that fast repair, but he already used his fast repair earlier.
Well, with no more stages, doesn't even matter if you have one or not. Because he towed back to pit road, right? So,
Right, yeah.
if that had happened in stage 1, not a big deal. But, wow. That's insane. I'm honestly surprised.
I think we have our battle for the win right here. We got one car that's in perfect shape, just about, and one car that's got some front right damage.
Right?
But it doesn't seem to be slowing him down.
This is going to be wild. This is going to be insane.
It's going to come down to that pit stop, that final pit stop. When the 17 goes, does the 70 follow him, or do they pit on separate laps? And here goes the 70. Nope. Aaron thought he had the run. He did have the run going across the stripe, but it's coming and going. The opportunity.
Yeah, and that's going to be the thing. Opportunity is going to be the thing we're going to look at tonight for sure. And another thing here is, what do you do now, right? You just saw a car break on something we didn't expect. So does that worry everybody else here now?
Right, like, now it's sitting in, like, I'm watching every single corner, making sure that I stay on the limits of the track.
Right. I think now you got to be uber cautious. I mean, we literally saw it happen. That's the crazy part, right? I mean, I know you didn't expect that to happen, neither did I. But here we are, right? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I do know one thing though. I think the 70, when he pits, he's probably gonna take that fast repair.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the thing that you do here.
Oh, pit stops are starting for a few of the guys.
So at least some of them, right, going ahead and doing their pit stop here.
Right, as the pit window is open finally. Opens about 20 laps into it. Joseph still battling. He's back in 7th. His chance for a win is pretty much over here tonight, unless he can go the distance, which I don't think anyone can. It's impossible, I think.
I mean, is it though? Is it over if you think about it?
Right. Anyone could wreck.
I mean, I think what we saw moments ago changes your mindset on everything, in my opinion. In my humble opinion.
That's true, that's true. Anything could happen. You could have a bad pit stop. You could speed on the pit road. You could do what the 22 did.
Right. I mean, you just don't know at this point. Well, right now, we are what, 16 to go in this one now?
Yeah, they just hit that 16 to go. More people on pit road. Jordan hitting pit road. Anybody else? Nope. I'm just wondering, sitting and waiting, when's the 70 car of Aaron Smith gonna pit? And when he does that 17 or Reese Schaefer pit?
I think you have to, right?
Yeah, I believe you've got
I
to
mean,
pit.
you would think anyway. That's absolutely insane in my opinion, man. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate end to Jeff Wright's race. Bounced back, had a 7-second lead after that first stage issue.
Well, it's kind of calmed down though at the moment, right? Everything's kind of calmed itself down just a little bit here.
Got some more cars down pit road. Reese Schaefer's one of them. Derek Garrison and Caleb Shelton. So it looks like Aaron, Joseph, both Josephs, and Nick Wood and Logan Threckeld, the only ones that have not come down pit road yet for the final time.
So, are you surprised with what we've seen?
A little bit with the 22. As far as everything else, I felt like Aaron Smith had the car to dominate this one, but I also thought Joseph did too. And then we saw the incident that Joseph got caught in. That kind of turned his race upside down. But on your track right there, on the track map, you can see the little P with the green outline. That's roughly where Aaron Smith would come out onto the track if he was to pit. He would come out in the 3rd position.
But
But the other guys have to pit though too.
yeah, I mean, it's going to be such a tricky thing, right? To how you judge all this.
Right, yeah, no doubt in my mind Aaron's going to come out with this lead, but I feel like he's going to come out with a very, very big lead over 2nd place.
Right.
Oh, and Reese, I think, had an issue on pit road. I think Mr. Reese got caught speeding. He had a 54-second pit stop.
That's
a 45. Yeah, he had a 45-second hold.
That's a boo-boo. That's
Ouch.
not what we're here. That's bad. That's
Yep.
bad. That's bad, okay?
Oh my goodness, all the bad luck for these top drivers tonight. 1st and 2nd place. Or well, I guess restarted 3rd. So our pole sitter and our 3rd place sitter both not going to win this thing. Our 2nd place sitter though is out in front. The 22 who led a lot of stage 3 had some suspension issues and is out of this race. Does anything happen with the 70 here? Is Aaron, I think Aaron should play it easy at this moment.
It's almost like what's going to happen next, right? We've still got 13 laps to go in this one. It's been crazy so far. So why would we think it's not going to be crazy for the next 13 laps?
Exactly. But if my calculations are right with this program, when Aaron does pit, he will be a 19-second lead over Oscar Jensen.
That is assuming nothing goes wrong, right?
Right. As long as his pit stop is flawless, takes fuel only, he will have a 19-second lead over second place. Ooh, kind of locked it up after that line.
Yeah, a little hot there, but it could have been worse.
Unless he down his speed at that line before he locked it up.
I would think so.
Or is this pit entrance right here? No? The pit wall just starts there. Okay. Alright, here we go. There he goes. Second place, Oscar right there.
Tell you what, it's been a crazy race so far, man.
Yeah. I know you guys at home watching say, second place, Oscar's in third. Oh, Joseph, our first place car right there, has not pitted for the last time. He last pitted at lap 20, so he cannot make it. He has to pit. Oh, the 17, Reese Schaefer, a little issue going into that last chicane.
It's freaking crazy, man. Absolutely insanity what we've seen here.
Yeah, it's been a heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching one for some of these people, some of these drivers.
You almost feel bad for them sometimes, man.
Yeah. And you know what? I think I'm proud to say that this software actually did work. Oscar Jensen is 15 seconds behind Aaron Smith here. So it was about 3.5, 4 seconds off. But hey. Maybe he lost that time dealing with cars trying to pass him.
Well, hey, at least it worked. It'd be worse.
Right. And I didn't even notice that. So I noticed that it always says pit out position, but I never noticed that if you look at the pit out position and the person scored underneath that, it tells you how much time they'll be ahead of that person for each one. Pretty cool.
That's actually really neat. Well, man, now everything's kind of calming back down for a moment at least. For a moment, if you will.
Right.
I sound like Dusty Rhodes there for a moment, if you will.
Alright, let's check in Reese here. That critical error on pit road that we talked about once again. We thought maybe Reese had it locked in for a first or second place. But anything could happen, and sure enough it did.
Nice little battle here for second.
Well, the lead, technically. Even though it's technically not the lead, it is the lead, but it's technically not. Because Joseph has to pit. But hey, if Joseph pits right now, he should come out in the 5th position. Everything goes correct.
That's the theory. If
Right.
the way the knot is gone, it hasn't exactly done that. Well, what are your thoughts here, man, as we're getting down to it here?
Oh, it's been it's funny how I started this thing off thinking, oh, it's just a road course, it's the Roval, it's not going to produce much action, which it hasn't produced action like we thought it would, you know, like we would think action, like cars spinning, cars hitting walls. It's been more of the storyline.
People making mistakes, right? I mean...
Right. The storyline has been messed up for a few of these drivers.
I mean, you make a mistake and then you're in trouble. I mean, that's tends to be the way this thing's going.
Yeah, Joseph Sullivan doing more damage than anything staying out. He needs to pit.
Yeah.
Needs to give those tires a break to cool down. Those things are heated up a lot as he has now been out on the track for 21 laps. We didn't even do 21 solid green flag laps to start this thing. We had a break at lap 7 and a break at lap 20. He pitted on lap 20 right before the stage.
Are you surprised with how this went? Like, you know, up and down nights, just all around and same.
You know, not really. You know, like, I think my theory, if I'm, you know, Aaron Smith here, I know that, you know, looking back at my season, my very first win and my only win in that regular season came at Daytona road course, which is, in a way, it's similar to this track, would you say?
Yeah, it's similar. Obviously not the same, but it is similar.
Right, it's a few more technical corners there at Daytona road course.
Yeah. It's enough to get you on board for this one, we'll put it that way.
Right. The interior part of that track is it's a lot more difficult than this one.
It's not a track that I particularly enjoy.
Right, I feel like Roval, there's so many corners on the interior part of this track that you can set yourself up really good on just by arching and, you know, braking, whereas Daytona, there's a few corners on the interior part of that track that you have to have great braking to get around.
Right.
You can't just arch your way through those corners.
Well, you can, it's just not going to go well.
Right. And it looks like Joseph Sullivan, I think, did he did pit, yes. And like I said, he came out in 5th. Although he's gonna lose that spot.
Overall, man, I'm impressed with what we're seeing tonight, bud.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see who else makes it into the Final Four. It's gonna be really based off of finishing and points.
Which that doesn't honestly surprise me that much, right? This league's always being competitive, always will be competitive. I don't think there'll be a day where it's not competitive. So tricky. Well, it's 7 laps to go here, Chris. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the thing here.
Yes, and looks like the 1 has kind of bounced back. Gonna get himself a top 5 finish if everything stays okay.
In theory. Again, I'm not confident in that we're not going to see somebody break. I mean, honestly, what we've seen, man, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just not that confident we're not going to see it. Everybody's going to like, tag on, Matt. You're over here wishing bad luck on people. No, I just,
gotta look at it at an open mind. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Shoot, iRacing can have a big old glitch and turn 1 and 2 just completely fall off of the map.
You know, I love the fact that you went there. That's hilarious. It could happen. You know, just when you think you've seen it all, right?
Right. Absolutely insane. Gonna be win number 4 if everything stays well. Oh, he kind of hit that a little bit too hard.
There we go.
That's what messed up the 22.
Don't do that.
He took that thing 4 tires.
Do not do that, Captain. That's not good. Not good at all, man.
No. Alright.
Well, we're down to 5 laps to go here.
Yeah, and it looks like we have kind of a good battle going on right here. The 9 of Jordan right there on Joseph. Oh, and he sends Joseph for a spin.
Well, we're just going to quit talking here, folks. Because every time we say he's in a good spot or, you know, anybody's in a good spot.
What just happened to Aaron?
Big time damage, though. Damage on the right. What in the world?
What happened to Aaron here? I think he might have just blinked.
Hopefully that's all that happened. Good googly moogly Batman.
Yep, he just blinked. He blinked out for a good second there. Okay. So the track map saw it as an incident, but marked him with a red circle. That kind of worried me there for a second.
Yeah, for good reason, I might add.
Yeah, but I think he could stop where he's at, do some donuts, and then get going again and still be in the lead.
I mean, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong at all there.
Well, he's going to take 3 to go. He comes out of turn 4. I think at this point, I'd probably be putting it in autopilot, and I would just smooth my ride at the end.
Yep, that's exactly what I do as well. Don't press the issue. Do not press the issue. If you start pressing the issue, we've seen it all night. That's where problems occur.
Right, because in points racing, NASCAR style, all that matters is that finish, that win. The distance, that time gap between you and the car behind you doesn't stand for anything. It doesn't have a factor on your results.
No, it doesn't. And right now, you just got to keep doing what you're doing if you're these guys. Don't make a non-issue an issue.
Right. You know what, if I was him, that final lap, I would just cut this whole chicane out. Take the slow down.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how the league would feel about it. I mean, you're not going to lose the lead by the penalty. I guess the question is, how does the league feel about that? That's a good question.
Oh man, the last thing you want to do, 2 to go, is that final corner, the final turn. You don't want to take that little hurdle too hard and hit the track and spin out.
You know, I kind of actually wonder now what Bryce and those guys would do in that scenario. If you serve the slowdown, theoretically, you serve the penalty.
Right.
Right? Not that I'm saying I want to see this happen, but I kind of want to see this happen now. Everybody's like, man, it's all about the drama. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It makes for good TV. Me and Chris can just sit up here in the booth going, Jerry, Jerry. Well, it looks like it's going to go Aaron Smith's way here tonight, Chris. If he can just get around here just a few more times, buddy. Literally, that's all he's got to do. A few more trips around. And 1 lap to go for Aaron Smith. Brought to you by Credit One Bank.
Right.
Allegedly. And out front, Jensen behind him.
There you
It'll be
go.
very interesting. I'm with you, though. I would be so careful this last lap.
Right. Because, I mean, he could come back from a spin. But he can't come back from a nervous, trying to get corrected spin.
Right. Yeah, just let it ride. Let it ride out. There's no reason to push you there. Coming through here.
Take the track. And he's going to dip in for that chicane. I don't even think that thing was going through his mind. I just want to cut it right here.
Yeah. I am.
Just like that, Aaron gonna win race 1 and 2 of the round of 8. He is making it harder for anyone else to clinch their spot into the round of 4. And that's how you want it to be done. You want to look your competition in the eye and say, you know what? This is my championship.
There you go.
Look at it, I'm going to drift the corners.
So smooth, right? He was just smooth all night.
And Oscar Jensen second, and Derek Garrison third. That's going to push Derek even further into the Final Four. Already 7 points above the cut line. This should make it even further up.
Yeah, it's... you know, I don't know if I'll be here for the Final Four, so I'm going to say it. My knowledge of this league, right? Obviously, I covered them before. You've got them now. I think Aaron Smith's going to bring this home with a championship. I really do. I think he can do it. And what a way to do it, by the way, if he does.
Right. After winning 1 race all the regular season, coming into the playoffs winning not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Technically the 4th one won him into the playoffs.
Okay. How about that? I mean, can't.
Dash him outside, how about that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Catch him in the Final Four, how about that?
All right, well, he is going to burn it down here on the BMRL network, as always.
We get up closer. Oh, and he never got that damage repaired either.
No, he didn't. He just ran with it. He don't care.
Yep. Still had that fast repair unchecked, which a lot of us sometimes forget that.
Chris.
And then you're in a race with 1 fast repair and you're doing great all night. A little bit of damage from from contact that you don't even notice. And then later at the end of the race, when you actually have big damage, you go in like, all right, get the fast repair, getting out there. Wait,
How'd that work out for you, Chris?
where'd my fast repair go?
Didn't work out too well for you, did it, Chris?
Nope, I've had that happen multiple times. Or you forget to uncheck it, forget that you didn't even notice that you used it because you had a scratch. Alright, let's bring Aaron in here. Mr. Aaron, you're even more locked into the playoffs, man. The Final Four.
Hey, you love it.
Can you lock yourself in twice? No.
Try to do it 3 times next week.
That's the way it should be done, man. That's what I was telling Matt up here in the booth is, you know, that was me behind that wheel and I knew that I could win this race. I think I'm going for the win. I'm not letting another playoff driver get that win and in. I'm making them race to be into that Final Four, and I'm just going to take all of the lock-ins.
Absolutely. I need to keep them all on their toes here. They let me into the playoffs with the 13th seed. So I gotta make them work for it.
Right, and that's the funny thing. If you go and win this championship, do you think that 13th seed race is going to withstand for the next season?
Oh no, it already sounds like they're gonna do away with it. So yeah, that might have been my fault, but that's okay.
Well, man, congratulations getting it done here. We saw you have a little bit of front right damage. Did it come from that initial stage 3 restart going onto the track?
Oh yeah, that got all the competitors there. I got to race there afterward. I guess he just let me by or something. I broke a little later than usual because I wanted to try to give him a little bit of side draft. Yeah, after that I was gone. I guess he had a penalty too, which was unfortunate because I wanted to race somebody for the win. But then I forgot to take tires in the last stop and almost opened it up for the next cars in the line to catch up to me on newer tires. But fortunately I had enough of a gap and we were able to bring it home.
Yeah, and that's another thing we were kind of talking about right there at lap 20 when the stage got thrown is some of those guys did pit on that last lap, and you, who else was up there with you? You, Joseph, and Reese all qualified 1, 2, and 3, and you were up there 1, 2, and 3 both stages, but then you guys are going to find yourself kind of not really buried in the pack, but you know, behind people where you had clean air prior to that. Then you're going to have to deal with some dirty air and some slower cars. We were wondering if it was going to have any issues, and it looked like it did for the one at least.
Knocked down.
Yeah, it was unfortunate how it ended. We were hoping that was going to be the 3 of you guys, you know, fighting every lap for this finish, but you won when it really needed it, when you really needed it, and when it matters most. And now, every other of these other 7 playoff drivers that are in the round of 8, they all have one more opportunity to seal themselves into the round of 4. And I guess we'll see what happens when we go to Iowa.
Yes, I think so.
And
So, Aaron, I got a question real quick for you there, Aaron.
Sure.
Going with how your season started earlier this year to where you're at now, how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel great. I had a feeling I'd have a pretty good shot at it earlier on, but I didn't commit for the full season. I wanted to just run the races I thought I would like, and see if I can come away with as many wins as possible. But then it became clear that I could take a shot at the championship, so hopped in, and it's going pretty well for me so far. I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Well, man, I'm pulling for you, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right. Back to you, Chrissy.
oh yeah, I mean, before we let you go, celebrate your win. You got anyone you want to give a shout out to or a thank you to?
I'd like to thank all the folks at the Freedom Racing Series for having me this season, putting on these great races. I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting, all the folks for watching. Looking forward to back at it next week at Iowa, hopefully for 3 in a row.
All right, man. Well, congratulations getting the win here tonight. And I look forward to seeing you, actually, I think January 5th,
Oh yeah,
our
that's
next
great.
race. Yep.
All right, well, I'll see y'all.
Merry Christmas, Aaron.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too.
All right, man. Congratulations. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Oscar bringing it home in second place tonight. Started started in 6th, finished in 2nd. I say that's a great race for you, and tied for the biggest mover, actually.
Really? That's surprising. I am, yeah, I would say that's a big win. I'm absolutely horrible at hot lapping, and to just be consistent and finish second, that we even had a chance for Aaron had it gone any longer. And the other 3 fastest guys, I guess they died some sort or something happened with them. So
Yeah.
be the one that capitalized off that huge win. Driver still needs to be a little bit better, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, and I kind of continue on with that point that you made about drivers having some issues. It was Jeff Wright, actually, 22, took a corner too deep, hit the bump pretty hard, and it broke his steering, actually.
Yeah, I saw him after the side there one lap when I think he towed. My biggest thing was just run my pace, not screw up, and get a decent finish. And like I said, didn't think P2 was going to be the factor for us, but sometimes good things happen, and that was one of them.
Well, heck, if you had, like you said, a few more laps, I think if you had 5 to 10 more laps, you probably would have caught Aaron, because you were closing that gap pretty decently there.
Yeah. Well, we have to go back and look, but I doubt driver would have been able to capitalize on that. Unfortunately, just Aaron's fast of the field right now, and this driver just needs a little bit more better speed. Unfortunately, but who knows?
All right, man. Well, congratulations, getting that podium finish, that 2nd place, and I think my first time talking to you actually post race. So
Keep it going.
right, yeah, we go to Iowa, January 5th. We're off for the next 2 weeks to lead up to that. So yeah, maybe we'll get you back in the booth here
Yeah,
for these
hopefully,
final, I think, 3 races. I want to
Yeah.
say 3 more races.
I think it
after-
is 3.
Yeah. Or maybe, is there 4 in the final 4? I'll have to look. But yeah, before I let you go, you got anyone you want to give a shout out to or a thank you to?
Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to Bryce for allowing us to do this every week. Joseph as well. Derek, to League admins. Then thanks to Cody Porter and Expressive Sports.
All right, well, congratulations getting the 2nd place finish here tonight. We'll look forward to talking to you again as the season dwindles down, and yeah, go celebrate and have some fun and have a great week.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Matt. That
All right.
is a wrap here at the Roval.
Yes, sir. Got her done.
Yeah, a pretty interesting race. Not much, bumping and spinning and action, but we saw a lot of driver story scenarios, and how we did not expect them to.
Overall, good night of racing as always. This league's puts on one heck of a show anytime they're out. Privileged to get a call at another one with you, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, that was fun. Rescued me from an exhausting last about 4 hours.
All right, man. Go get you some rest, Chris.
All right, man. Well, thank you, and look forward to seeing everybody January 5th for Iowa.
See you in Iowa, everybody.